I'm using music inspired by Zenen Music. He's a new guy on blog. He just joined YouTube 2020. Please, if you feel the music, you can go and subscribe on his channel. His music is free for use. He now so far has two. His music is free for use as long as you subscribe and credit in your video. So with that done, let's continue. Alright, so welcome to part 2, where we understand in the documentation, what can I call it, and now we're going to understand classes. Alright, so for you to understand classes better, I've given it a different video. So let's go to the developer, and then you scroll down to API reference. Now this is very important. Why? Because Autodesk and 3ds Max, they do not know what part of your plugin or the library you need. That's why you need to reference the documentation so much, and this challenge comes according to the topic that you're handling. Right, so I've gone to that, to the reference, and then there are topics here. Right, there are topics here. There is modules. Okay, so modules and types. What do you want to work on? What do you need to define in case you want to work with bitmaps? There are very many things here. Oh my god. How to display flags, standard color IDs. Alright, now I want to go straight to classes, and I first leave modules. Okay, namespaces also. That what namespaces do you need when you're referencing? Okay, I want to go straight to classes, and the first thing I'll handle is the class list. Now 3ds Max has a very wide class list. It's all upon you to see what you need. Okay, it's all upon you to see what you need, and it is very well categorized. Okay, so let me see class ID. Okay, so class ID, so if you want most of the things that are concerning the classes that you need, you just need to think of something, then you come and see what that thing is talking about. For example, this is the description or the description of this class ID reference that we've talked about. For example, the class represents the unique class ID of the 3ds Max plugin. A plugin class ID must be unique. A program is provided with the SDK to generate the class ID, and they are telling you where to find this. Now when you use the wizard, fortunately this is already created for you. For example, we have our class ID, and this is my ID for the plugin. Alright, for this particular plugin that I'm using, and you'll see that we shall be referencing the class ID so that plugins do not crash with each other. They differentiate the command that is being called based on the class ID. Alright, apart from the class ID, we have the super class ID, we have the object, we have the class ID itself, the super class ID, you see. So we're going to see how with the object ID, the object class, sorry, the class ID, the super class ID, we're going to see how we go through those now, again without wasting time. So that is the class ID, and it must have an A and B, okay, in the construct. So assign values, okay, for that A and B. We shall come and see what this really means, but we already have the A and B. If I come to, okay, for example, here we have two, this and this. All right, apart from the class ID, let's see, what do we need more? Let me see. You can see collision objects. Let me see, creating mouse callbacks. So what do you need? First of all, you need to include this header, because we already have classes I showed you in the previous lesson, and then you need to write. So this is the base object when you're calling the mouse. So you call the method get mouse callback, okay, and then you start handling your issues. It must have a matrix, okay, of 3 points, and then the iPoint class must be referenced. So they are telling you that you must create a mouse callback, okay, and then you you must call other classes. You must see if it is true or not. Those are the Boolean constructions, and they are taking you through how to create most of the items that you need, message point, flags. We shall see as we come to that. Let me see. Geometry. Let me look for geometry. Geometry object. All right, so for you to use the geom object, let's say you're creating a box or cylinder, you must include this, okay. For example, you must come up here and include, for example, there's this one for a simple object, and you include that, so that you reference that, and then let's see, the base class of the creation of the geom object. So object, you must go through the object and then you call for the geom object. So the class is object, and then we also have the class mesh. Now this is now some of the member functions you must be calling. So you must call a superclass ID, okay. Retrieves the, and they are telling you what it does. It retrieves a constant representing the type of the plugin, okay. I've right clicked to see more information. You must choose if the item is renderable or not, okay. It is instanced dependent, okay. The number of render meshes, get multiple render meshes. There are very many things. And then, so let's go and see what we right clicked. So here they are telling us that the superclass retrieves a constant representing the type of plugin. All right, so and it returns this a superclass ID that uniquely identifies the type of category of a plugin. Note that several plugins based from several can be of the same type. That's returning the superclass ID. Plugins are uniquely identified by their superclass IDs.